well, welcome to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I am Hakima King.
I'm Jerry Hartz.
Yes, and we're on week, what, 7, 8 of Changing Lanes with Hartz and King?
Let's go with 8.
Let's go with 8.
Lucky 8.
Yes, and we're really excited. So who do we have with us today?
Today we have a very good friend of mine, Sandi Good. She's joining us from California, way on the other coast via Zoom because we're technically savvy over here because of Aaron and John. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So Sandi and I have known each other for the better portion of our after 30s life. So what, right, Sandi? Like I don't like to put a number on it, but let's just say a while. So
I was thinking about that today. We're on upwards of 20 plus years for sure.
Oh, like she definitely got us beat. Well, let me tell you, Jerry talks so much good stuff about you, Sandi. Like she lets me know that you are a badass. So it's nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us in the studio today. Well, via Zoom.
Yes,
California.
But still, I love it when Hakima gets to meet my oldies and besties. And I do want to give Sandi a little shout out because she is a Kings Point graduate.
Kings Point, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
Very big deal. Wouldn't you say, Sandi?
Well, let's put it this way. It's the best decision I ever didn't want to make. It was a tough decision to go there, but honestly, I feel like the friendships that I have and then the way that the future just sort of unfolded was I've been a great benefactor of what the school did for me.
There you go. Well, I just feel like you have a lot of poise and a lot of confidence. She has 3 children, triplets, I call them, and that's a story in itself. They're 16 now, 17, just driving.
Yeah, 16, just driving.
16,
3
just driving.
16-year-olds?
Yes. She moved from Virginia to California in her career, made a big choice with that. And hopefully we'll work her way back here. So welcome.
Welcome, Sandi. It's good to have Sandi Good. All good.
She does make you feel good.
Well, Sandi, tell our guests who you are. Like, who is Sandi Good?
Gosh, who am I? I mean, the first thing that jumps out is a mom. I think it's probably because it's the most dominant aspect of my life, and probably the thing that makes me the most proud and the most humble at the same time. I like to think of myself as a good friend. Sitting here with Jerry and really just remarking that we've known each other for 20 years, and I rewind in my brain back to the very beginning when we met and how different I am today from when I was then, and the fact that she still loves me.
I do, absolutely. And I love your hair. Her hair was really short when we first met.
But yeah, no, I'm just I'm going to be 50 this year in September, and so I am just like every other woman out there at the same stage of life. You're just trying to take in what's new and learn along the way and figure out what your next chapter is going to be. So I feel like I'm in evolution. I'm a story in progress.
Wow. Now you say 3 16-year-olds, boys, girls, mixture. What we got?
They're all boys. Yeah, all boys. Totally different. My first son, I adopted in November of 2008, and then 3 months later, my biological twins were born by a surrogate. They were carried by another very good friend of mine. So everybody arrived within 3 months of each other, and we're making it work out here. Sometimes not very gracefully, but we're making it work.
Wow. I mean, it sounded like it would be fun. I know I'm a middle kid, and I have 2 brothers, and my brothers were really like mama's boys growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted all boys because of the way my brothers treated my mom. Like it's like that was their.
She's the queen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I might not have agreed when I was 16 years old, but that was a goal of mine to have all boys. But then I ended up Sandi having 2 girls, and I decided that 2 was good enough for me.
And they treat you like a queen.
They do, but it's different. Like my grandson.
How old are the girls?
They're 4 years apart, actually. They're 21 now, 21 and 25.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but girls, we go through that stage at 16 where it's just, I couldn't imagine 3 at one time.
Well, we don't need to get into all that because that's a whole nother podcast, I think.
Yeah. So kudos to you is what I'm saying. Yeah. So, Sandy, I know from Jerry talking about you and how great you're doing with corporate housing. I've actually been by one of your properties,
Yes.
that Jerry helped you set up. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, I'm glad that you've been there. That's great.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So the I guess the pathway to getting to what is called the Liberty House. I lived in Virginia for 16 years, and I left Virginia, moved out to California, and there's some sort of circuitous family and life reasons that all happened. But um, making that change, gosh, it's been 11 years ago now. I think the hardest thing for me was leaving my nest of friends. And that was such a transformative experience, and sad to this day I haven't made the type of friends here in California that I did when I was in Virginia. So I think in the back of my mind I've always had it that when this season of life sort of starts to either wind down or give me the opportunity, that I wanted to go back and be back around my nest of people, and I wasn't quite sure how to do that. I've always been into real estate. I've always been into very unique properties. And this particular property came up. I was just on Zillow one day, came up, and it was in an area of Ghent that I had always driven past and always really liked. And it wasn't like a long thought out process. I mean, I think I had always had that idea that I wanted to go back in the back of my mind, but I just picked up the phone and I called Jerry and I'm like, Jerry, go check this house out. I've got an idea. And she did, and we chatted about what the idea was. And essentially it was figuring out a way to turn kind of a dream property into something that I could utilize as a short-term investment while I improve the property, that I can also, philanthropically find a way to try to give back to the community or offer something to the community, and allow basically allow this idea, this business to try to flourish with the support of Jerry, of course, while I remained out here in California and sort of like finished out this part of my career, my kids being in high school, and maybe create an opportunity for myself to either live bi-coastally or eventually move back to Hampton Roads full time.
Well, and I think that's like, to hear your story and the reasons you did it, like it just explains so much on the different reasons why people go into corporate housing, why they buy property to just hold and wait or invest. And there's just so many reasons. And it's not all about money, even though, we try to make it profitable for everybody and try to like not waste money, because I'm a firm believer in not wasting. And I'm honestly, I'd probably get too mother henny with that kind of thing. But so no, I've just so respected you and how you write your goals down and you figure it out. I know you say it was willy-nilly that you just called, but I also know that you were probably looking around and really thinking this through. There are some other things, and I'm not trying to divulge anything of your finances, but like this, like just for viewers, for different tools for people going into it. When you buy property, you have a different tax, different ways to any self-employed person, whether you're a self-employed person or you have real estate, you're going to have a different tax path.
Yes. So,
and then also you bought in a historic district, which also is helpful. And again, with the as when you're in a investment property and you do capital improvements, you get to write some of that off as well. So there's all these things that you really thought about and thought through. So I don't want anybody to just go, oh, it was willy-nilly and I picked up the phone and bought a house, 6-bedroom house in a historic district. So I mean, you really thought about this.
Now, Sandy, that Liberty House is beautiful. It has like I'm a fan of old houses and the historic houses, but going inside that home and each room having character,
yes,
it felt like being in a mini castle. Like it really did.
Awesome.
Yes, it did.
And actually, when we take a break, I'll pass through. I'll do. I'll get some. I should have done this earlier this morning. Didn't think about it, but I do have pictures on my phone that Aaron can pop a few up on the behind us, so people can see how pretty your house is, if you don't mind.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I think Jerry, to your point, I mean, I sort of say cavalierly that it was willy-nilly. It certainly wasn't. I mean, I think it was sort of emotionally fueled while I was looking.
Sure.
And then when I found the house, and did more research on the fact that it was in a federal historic district. It's on the National Registry. It's also a Norfolk Historic District. And I started to, one of the main incentives for me is living out in California in Silicon Valley. The income is a lot higher here because the cost of living, that is so high. And it's the cost to entry to real estate out in California is really difficult. And
Insane.
so you need some ways to do some tax deferment. And the more I looked into the opportunity, like if I was to get investment property, where would that investment property be? Given that if the United States is your ocean that you can
Right.
look at. And I think the fact that I had that emotional connection to the area, I knew the area, it felt safe to me. I knew what I was looking at. And then I think also the fact that it was a historic home with a tremendous amount of character feeds into a lot of who I am. I've always wanted to fully restore an older home. When I researched a little bit more into some of the tax benefits beyond having an investment property, you do have the ability to reclaim the some of the capital expenditure costs. There's also some tax deferment for your property taxes up
Right.
to a certain period of time. So a lot of these things started to add up and then really also helped to serve me keeping more of my disposable income in my pocket rather than paying it out in really exorbitant tax basis percentages to the federal government. So it all worked out pretty well. I mean, it was a risk, and I think that I've learned a lot coming through this. Jerry's taught me a ton, and yeah, I don't know. I'm grateful to be on the path.
Well, I'm grateful. We're grateful that you're on it, and
Definitely.
it's scary for me having a good friend across the country, and I'm like advising. It's like that unnerves me.
Right.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, I just
Right.
hope this all like works.
Your
So,
stresses become her stresses and
oh
vice
yes,
versa. So
yes, I take it very but on in the positive aspect, like you're saying with your community that you have, because you're meeting all these people that are coming through. I get to meet Sandy's people that are coming
yes.
through her house. So, and it's really fun to like see these women and one token man. We have one token man that lives in the house, Chris, and he's just really funny. He takes the trash out. He does like all the boy jobs that you know.
I like that.
I know.
love
I do
it
too.
having like a guy in the house. No, Sandy, you said that you were looking for an investment property, right? What made you sway in the and I'm pretty sure Jerry was a big part of that. What made you sway into the corporate housing realm, and then how has it been for you? What corporate housing?
Well, really, there was a lot of information at the time of people providing housing for traveling medical professionals. That was kind of what was sort of top of mind because of that house and the proximity to CHKD and the medical
Two
school.
blocks to the medical school. That's right.
It's
Mhm.
Yeah, it's in such an awesome location. And that also brings back like another very, close personal tie of mine is that both of my twins, who I mentioned biologically are mine and my ex-husband's, who were carried by another very good friend. They were in CHKD for almost 3 months. And the quality of the care that we received from the nurses was just unbelievable at a time where you're fueled by fear as a new parent. And I so appreciated the doctors, the nurses, everything. And I thought, how cool would it be if you've got these medical professionals that are traveling in to help be a part of your community temporarily, in lieu of having a place that they just lay their head every night, to be able
Right.
to provide them with something that's a little bit more communal, perhaps a bit of a nicer setting, being on the Hague right there, and really trying to be very intentional about what that stay experience would be like. This is sort of what bore the idea of the Liberty Home. And Liberty is all about providing, freedom and happiness to others. And so that's sort of where the idea came from. And then just given that the house is out of the Federalist era, this just got my creative juices spinning. And my mother and I actually brainstormed and picked a name of a female. That was a powerful influence in that period of time. So each room has got its own name. And
Yeah.
as I
About
look to
that house.
restore the house, I'll be really thinking about the personalities of those women as we decorate out each room. And so that when people come to the house, it's more than just a place that they're sleeping at night. It's a bit of an experience. And that was really important. And it's also been really fun to think of it that way. So I'm learning a lot from that, and I get to pour a little bit of my creativity into it as I do this thing that's part of a longer term plan.
Right.
I love that. And I love the fact that, Sandy, like when it comes to corporate housing, I love your story, but you got to have a passion for it. And it got to be more than money because, like, what I find, I've been doing it 3 years, almost 4 years now, but I find a lot of these people that are traveling have, like, I mean, they're a great community, but they have deep stories as well. Like, they love helping. So,
They do
and that
love
means,
helping.
and that means a lot. So, it's definitely not about the money. Is you got to have a passion for it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So when we come back, we're gonna have some pictures of Sandy's house, so you can see what she's done and how just it's exciting. Just and so it's not just it's making a home for these traveling professionals.
Yes.
So thank you.
Safe,
We'll be
yeah.
right back.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
Hi, I'm John P.G. Stiles. Some people call me JPEG. You can probably guess why. I'm the founder and partner at WWDB TV. Does your business need a commercial, or do you already have one and you just want to get the message out there? Do you need a sizzle reel? Do you need an audition tape for a part that you're up for? Or have you ever thought about hosting your own show? Well, this is the place, WWDB TV.
Welcome back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I'm Hakima King.
I'm Jerry Hartz.
Yes, and welcome. So before we went on break, we were talking with a good friend of Jerry's, actually, Sandi Good. Now she's going to be a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Sandi has a delivery house that is in historic Ghent and here in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yes, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to find these pictures.
Are you?
But
Yes. So Jerry wants to share. I mean, this house is beautiful, and Jerry wants to share some pictures of this house. It kind of reminds you of like a let me see, a historic, what can I say, castle feel. But Sandi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You know what, I know you're naming these rooms after some strong, powerful women, but you got to have a Sandi room. I mean, you really do have to have a Sandi Good room or the good room.
Well,
The only Sandi thing I get are the bills. I'll take that for now.
With your name all over them.
With my name all over them.
Yeah.
The blood, sweat, and tears.
There we go. But you got to have a good room. Like, this is the good room here. So before we went on our break in our first session, you were telling some of the things that you've been through and who you are, and how you also got started with this house, and what was your inspiration. Is there any any pivots that you had to do in life, any like major lane changes and creating your own lane, stories that you could share with our viewers?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, I think life in general is full of lane changes. It should be anyway. I figured what would you do if you weren't afraid? If you could fight that fear, there's probably a lot more experiences and a lot more genuity and breadth that you could get out of life. For me, I never had any design on leaving Hampton Roads. My whole, my posse was there, and I had 3 small children that were just about to be 5 years old. And, sadly, I went through a divorce, and I got separated from my husband at the time. And, I had the ability, really kind of the luxury to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. I had quit working in 2008 when my first son was born. And I had the ability to stay home with them for 4.5 years. Coming up to a divorce, I had to, really just rip off the Band-Aid and recognize, if I'm gonna be a single parent part-time, I'm gonna need to go back to work. And so I started looking for different opportunities. And sadly, I didn't find a lot of what I was looking for in Hampton Roads. I had come out of a fairly successful logistics, supply chain, and distribution career. In fact, I had worked at Newport News Shipbuilding for 6.5 years before I went to grad school at ODU. And I really had my roots set in Hampton Roads. I managed to get picked up through a Service Academy career conference for a job at Facebook. And Facebook at the time had just been public for about a year and a half, 2 years, I think. And truthfully, the opportunity was one I couldn't pass up because of the ability to build something new and novel in an area, in a sector that didn't really understand logistics and supply chain and distribution. And so it was, again, one of those moments where an opportunity comes right in front of you, and you're either going to grab it or you're going to run away from it. I grabbed it, and the next thing I knew, I am on my way out to California. So that probably is the biggest lane change. And I think what I would share about that is that emotions are additive. And so you're going through a divorce, so your emotions are both up because you feel like you are gaining some freedom and independence back from a situation that you needed to free yourself from, but you're moving away from your friends to a place that you don't know anyone, and you don't know if you're going to be successful because this is a new job opportunity. Everything about it forced me outside of my comfort zone. And I had extreme highs in doing this, and I had extreme lows. And it probably took me about 3 or 4 years till I really got my footing and really understood what it was that I was out here to solve for myself and my family. And once I kind of hit that point, the decisions that I made from that point forward all really became part of, I guess, what I would call the chapter that I'm in currently. And those steps that I'm taking now are what is leading me into the next chapter, which is, still in draft form.
Right. Well, yeah, it's still in draft form for all of us. But and I think because you did that, do you feel like your next chapter is going to be easier to transition to? I mean, are you more excited about it, or what do you feel?
Excited about is the right word. I think because I've gone through so many, significant changes and come out on the other side of those changes better for it. When I look at the future, which really it bears itself out in storytelling. How do I take the experiences that I've had, the resilience that I have not only built myself, but that through years of leading other people, teaching them about taking risks and about really understanding you're going to get knocked down. It's life. It's the way it is. It's the grace with which you stand back up, dust yourself off, and say, I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. And so part of this involves, maybe it's a little bit of teaching, maybe going back to Old Dominion and finding ways that I can take some of my experience, my professional experience or my life experience, and impart that onto the next generation. The other part is I'm a humorist writer. Irma Bombeck is like my hero.
I was going to say that. I was getting ready to say, she's a creative writer. She's wonderful. So I'm so glad you said that. Yes.
So I envision myself sitting eventually on the front porch of Liberty Home, writing my, short story epistles and being a public speaker and traveling through the United States and maybe beyond that, being able to help share some inspirational stories about resilience.
You know what? Like just meeting you today. Just meeting you today, Sandi, and then hearing so much stuff about you before our introduction today. Like I would be like, I'll be looking for that. I'll be looking for your books. Like, inspiration. I mean, just teaching women like it's okay, like just go through it and like just face your fears, and just is. I mean, it worked out for you, which is amazing. And it's worked out for so many others, that have just, hey, you got to do it. You got to go through it. And you come out on the other side better for it. I like that. So I think you'll be a good public speaker.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll save you a seat when I get to my very first TED Talk. How about that?
Awesome, awesome. And if you see the house behind us, this is the Liberty House.
Yes.
That's behind us. There's so many great qualities about this house. I love the porch though. What that looks like overlooks the sunset with the two seats.
It does. It faces west, so you get to see the sunset.
Yes.
The faces obviously the water. It's got enough bathrooms, so she's got two primary, one nice, really large primary room with an attached bath, and then another that has an attached, and then a couple other bathrooms throughout the house. So when you're looking for these houses, anytime you can get an ensuite situation, as many private bath situations, the better you're going to be. So that's the.
That's the view. Look at the view. That's beautiful, and it actually overlooks. You can look right at Norfolk General and CHKD.
Yes. So that's over like to the left a little bit, but yes, CHKD is too like. A lot of the girls just walk over on pretty days, so it's really important. We actually have some international tenants now. They've come over, and they don't have cars. So
that's
beautiful. So
I know when I came to see it, we went down the street to the restaurant as well,
yes.
Right at the end of the block. I feel, and it was amazing. Little it's like a house as well.
Yes,
very comfortable and
quaint. So I took her to Press 626.
I was gonna say, I love that place. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. So, in all honesty, Sandy and I have not gotten to go. So you
really,
you.
So when you come in town,
she took your place. We're gonna go. We'll go. Yes, and Marcy wants to join too. So she
has Marcy been by the house?
She's not been by the house, but she needs to go by the house. And we've been talking about teams on some of our other podcasts, and Marcy is like an integral part of our team. So I'm so excited that you guys got to meet virtually, and I want you guys to meet everybody to meet in person. So, and
I wanted to share one thing about that, Jerry, about sort of the power of the teams. You know, the Liberty Home, the one that you guys are taking a look at, it is the first of what I hope will be many. And when I say many, I mean, I'm not talking 10, 20. It would be very nice to be able to do, because I think the success of this model, it's proving that there is a market for it. And so, Jerry and I were recently just looking at another home that, when it came up, the number of bedrooms matched the number of bathrooms. When you really start to think in terms of the model, you start to see houses in a very, very different way as you develop your business opportunity. But within quite literally, 15, 20 minutes of talking to Jerry about the house, had arranged a virtual tour. We were on the phone with Marcy, just investigating what could financing look like in this situation. And by having a network of really strong people, I'm biased, but particularly I love working with very strong women. I had a lot of answers in a very short period of time that helped to inform me on whether or not I could move forward. It was pretty cool.
I just think it's important, and especially I know you process quickly, Marcy process very quickly. Everybody needs to you got to keep it going. And plus, the other agent was so kind and gracious. She kept saying, "No, you take your time. You have the weekend. We don't have any calls. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine." And we had some hiccups with it because being an HOA, we wanted to make sure that it could be rented and all that kind of stuff. And she got a contract, so we couldn't get the house. But you have to move quickly if it's a property that it's
like, this is a diamond in the rough. I felt when I went by. So, and I know this area, and very beautiful area.
Yeah. So we'll keep looking, and if you're going to do TED Talks, all over the country, we'll be part of your entourage, and we'll study those markets as well. How's that?
Yes.
Perfect.
So good.
Yes. So I'm definitely glad it's working. It definitely worked out for you, and I'm, just excited about your next chapter. And
so, if you had a little gem, a little nugget for people to share, share with others, advice, what's your best piece of advice that you would share about changing lanes in life?
I take the next best step that reduces tension. I think there are times when there's unknowns and there's uncertainty, we dive right into all the what ifs and we get concerned, and you can sort of just, get yourself all gummed up in all the possibilities, good and bad. When you think about life, it doesn't really roll out that way. You don't jump to the end of the story. So
Right.
part of resilience is about maintaining momentum. And the way to maintain momentum is to unblock yourself so you can keep moving forward. And that's in small steps.
Right.
So when you're stuck, you think hard about what is the next most reasonable thing that I can do that releases tension so that I can move forward. And I think if, you know, and a lot of times you can do that 25 times in a day sometimes. It depends on what you're trying to solve for, but recognizing that life doesn't happen because of humongous leaps forward. It happens because of small, you know, really disciplined steps forward. And each one of those steps reduces tension so that you can maintain momentum.
That's awesome. That's really good
That's so
advice because
nice.
it is true. Like whenever I have something facing me, I tend to do this. I sit in bed and I stare at the ceiling and I go, I need to dust my ceiling fan. On top of everything else that's running through my head, I get stuck on the ceiling fan dust. So, I mean, really,
No,
and it's
you're
like,
right.
instead of like just going, just get up, take a shower. Okay.
Yeah.
Now go get on the phone. Now go whatever the thing
Right.
is and think through it just minute by minute. And especially like, you know, like we're of the age too, not you
I
girls are
am of the age.
like I just have all these people are getting sick and passing, and I just you feel like you just really have to live your best life as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And you know, and it puts me in a tizzy anyway. So, but I appreciate everybody here because oh look, he's got the water view.
Oh
from,
yeah, look at that. Look at us on
yeah.
your porch, Sandy. You see this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see you. My American flag too. I love it.
Yes.
this view right
Yeah.
I'm going to
here.
keep working on posting those other pictures so people see the
Right.
property. So
Thank
Yes.
you.
And-
Awesome.
And you see this, like, so if you're looking for a contract in Virginia because summers are beautiful here and you're a traveling professional, the Liberty House might be the place for you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
You
Definitely.
can sit on this porch on a summer day.
Evening,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, overlooking. Yeah. So, and Cindy, your words did resonate with me because as I was driving in today to the studio, I kind of felt like an overwhelming feeling.
You
I
said
told-
that.
I
You
said
said
that.
that.
Like, you know what?
Mhm.
Today I'm just so overwhelmed, and I
Yeah.
know, as us women over 40, because Jerry doesn't feel like I'm in this category. She always leaves me out, Sandy. But sometimes life get overwhelming because I think because we think about the things that we should be doing, like, oh my God, I got to pick the kids up. I got to do this today. I got to do laundry. You know, so much stuff that
Mhm.
we have to do that we just get overwhelmed with just the thoughts. And I think
Yeah.
that's that was my overwhelm, is just the thoughts.
Right.
So
Well,
I
and
need
I
to
think it's okay too to give yourself, you know, I think about women's minds in terms of like a computer with 1,800 tabs open at one shot. It's okay to take time to close some of those tabs down just a little bit. And I think what I mean by that is being really intentional about what you're focused on. And that does not need to be a big thing. Like what Jerry was talking about, if your focus in that moment is, I'm going to get up and I'm going to dust the ceiling fan off.
Right.
Do
right.
it. It releases tension, and
It
and you've
does.
closed
It
a
does.
tab,
It
and now
does.
you can focus on the next one.
Right. It just make a clearing and just get things so that you can focus. So
Right.
and stop the, you know, Isaac was talking about his girlfriend and he likes her when he's with her, but then when he's not. Oh, anyway.
Oh,
It's
Jerry.
okay. Jerry. Yeah. Yeah. When he's not with her, he thinks about her all the time.
He does.
And he talks about her amazingly all the time.
He
So it's
does. But
okay.
I just told him, I was like, just stop thinking. Just stop thinking.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So just do. So that's the thing too. So
Yes.
I'm
anyway,
absolutely 100% seeing him roll his eyes and be like, Mom, seriously, did you have to do that on the podcast?
Right. So we're gonna take a break on that.
Yes.
When we come back, we'll come back with Sandy. Are you have a couple more minutes with us, Sandy, or is that
Sure.
okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you in a minute. Thank you.
hey, everybody, I am Aaron Phillips. You are.
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDB-TV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
You're on.
Welcome back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I'm Hakima King.
And I'm Jerry Hartz.
Yes.
Hi.
And you guys can find us at Changing Lanes with Hartz and King on Facebook, and also Changing Lanes with Hartz and King on YouTube. And all of our other podcasts, 1 through 7, could be found there.
Yes.
Yes. So, and we've had a lot of different guests on our shows and a lot of great advice. So, and we just keep finding these amazing people like Sandi Good that's on our show today. Sure. And Sandi, is there like if somebody, one of our viewers wanted to find you just for advice or anything, how is there a Facebook page or anything that you have out there?
And especially with your writing, do you have anything in your writing that you've started to put out or no?
I have not officially started to publish anything to a point where I've got like an active website or anything like that. I am in the process. I'm actually working with a professional coach right now to figure out what that marketing entry looks like. Of course, you can always find me on LinkedIn, Sandra L. Dugan. I'm actually under my maiden name there. And then on Facebook, Sandra L. Good, I'm there as well.
Awesome.
That Aaron goes by a couple of names as well. So, and he's very successful. So we want to just, we know we can do it. But when you get that stuff rolling, I can't wait because we'll have you back on and give you a little shout out with all that stuff.
Yes. Awesome. I'd love that.
Yes. So I'm excited about your next chapter. So I'm ready.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm like one of those women that love to cheer on other women.
Oh, for sure.
Because it kind of makes it like, you cheer for them and inside you're cheering for yourself too. So it's always good to have, women around.
I also believe that like if you put good out, you're gonna get good back. It might not be tomorrow, it might be like 5 years from now, but you guys are gonna cross paths at some point, or Sandi may be over there somewhere and go, you know what, Hakima might really enjoy whatever this is. And it all just
works itself out.
It totally works itself out. My grandmother used to sit and she was in her 80s. I know it's warm in here. Thank you. I think I'm glistening.
Having a flag.
But my grandmother used to like give her little $2 to the church, and she would crochet and babysat. She didn't, she was she died 20 years ago and she was 84 when she died. So it was a while back. But whenever she put that $2 in at church, and I asked her one day, I was like, why do you keep giving money? You don't have any to give. And she goes, oh, it'll come back tenfold. So I feel like that with your kindness, with gratitude, with anything, the more you put it out, the more it's going to come back. And she was who taught me that. And oh no, I thought I had my uncle on. Oh, I do have my uncle with me in spirit. So yeah. So
sweet.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, I know it's a little love fest. It's a woman love fest around here.
Well, Sandi, thanks for coming and joining us. It is always great to meet a friend of Jerry. A friend of Jerry is a friend of mine.
Yes.
But it's always good. Thank you for agreeing to do our podcast and
of course,
letting our viewers see how awesome you are and that there's women out there that are doing it and that are badass. I love badass.
She's a badass. You're a badass woman. Yes, she is.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. And honestly, this is your 8th episode. Congratulations on this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it takes creativity and some drive to keep showing up and keep doing it. And you've got some good people supporting you in doing it. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, this was a fear of ours that we kind of like had to dive in head first. Like, we're doing this. So you might not know, but we're
Band-Aid, baby.
Yes, it's always good to hold on to somebody else and make them jump with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So
thank you again. You're always welcome. When you're ready for that next step to put out that book or that TED Talk and promote, we'll love for you to come back and talk.
Yes, because we've got these guys are seriously Las Vegas renowned. So we've got people here who can help you too. Yes.
I love that. I'll hit you guys up for that for sure. And good luck with everything. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
All right, love you, girl, and I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. So that's a good guess. Definitely a good guess.
I mean,
you got good friends.
It's funny. Like most of the women in my life are very. I don't want to say type A because you feel like they're anal or like you know what I mean.
I'm
But
like a type A, but I don't feel like type A women are anal. I just feel like we're definitely boss. Like
you
we are
definitely
doers.
yes, exactly.
Not that
Doers,
we have to
yes.
have everything a certain kind of way, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna do something. I'm going to do it. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So
Right.
that's
So
why I
yeah,
look
lots
at
of
type A.
integrity, like definitely lots of integrity. But it's funny because the way I met this group of women, like Sandy, part of it, and I've got two girls. We call each other the three J's because it's Julie, Jerry, and Jennifer. But I knew Julie very well, well, not very well, but we were just starting to hang out and stayed out till 2 a.m. whatever, and then we went to church the next day, right? And I was like, yeah, I'll go to church, whatever. So we're sitting in the back row of this church and really just dying to go to lunch afterward because we really needed food. I mean, it was a long night, if you get my drift. So these people are in the back rows just talking the whole mass service. And I was like, what is going on around here? And then we finally get to the restaurant with these people. It was like one of them ran the homeless shelter. One of them did the daycare. One of them was the treasurer. What I mean, these were like the pillars of the church, and I was like, "You guys talk to the whole service."
Telling them.
It's like, what are you doing? So it was just really funny that but I think the importance of even hearing my story that I'm telling you is that everybody has fun and everybody works hard. So it's like play hard, work hard, and then you can figure it all out.
Right.
So
That's important. When you got a good balance of both, when
yes.
you know how to, balance.
Balance is key.
Yeah.
Balance is key in any
Right.
relationship. So that's
That's
all I can
good.
say about that. I know. And I mean, so back to like the corporate housing issue of it with just seeing different avenues. Like there's some people that like to do the 2-1, there's some people like to 2-2 because they're afraid to like
Put
as
people
you always
together.
say, like we'll put people together but also bite off more than they can chew.
Right.
Like put too much on their plate.
Right.
So financially. So they go at it first, but it's just showing that there's a different you could do it. It doesn't matter the situation. Yeah, the putting people together, everybody's getting used to that. Like
Right.
that we know is
Living.
really the communal living.
Yeah.
It's really
No, I mean it's easy. People think like, who wants to live and with this person? But I mean, I had two doctors in my house at one time. One emergency medicine, and the other one's a pediatrician. Who just found and bought her house, so she'll be moving at the end of the month. But
I'm
I
sorry.
still got another woman that just hit me up. So and somebody else coming for the summer. So my house is constantly turning over. So it's always a good thing, And I
Right.
tell people, if you are looking to invest, I mean, corporate housing is where it is. I'm big on my bathrooms though, so I'm big on bathrooms and rooms, and
Yes.
it's another thing. Looking for more properties right now, and yeah.
So good. Well, I'm excited to see what comes up next for you because I know you're working on something, and I think,
Yeah.
but I will have a little.
That's part of me being a little overwhelmed. So I'm gonna unpack some of this stuff, and relieve some tension, like our friend Sandy said. So today, you know what I'm doing? My taxes.
Oh Lord, are you meeting with Meredith?
Yes.
Oh gosh, you're really doing your taxes.
I'm really doing my taxes. I'm not just putting them on paper and like, oh, I'm really doing my taxes.
You've got she has an appointment, y'all.
Yes, I do at 2:00. So right after this, zoom, and get my taxes.
I'm so proud
done.
of you.
I'm so proud of me too.
You should be.
Like, let me tell you something. Tax season, and then filing the extension, and then, I mean, I could extend forever.
Yeah, but
I know
you can't.
I know I can't. But as part of that being overwhelmed, like I know I need to take care of this.
You're gonna feel so much better.
Of course, at 2:30. 2:00 is my tax appointment. 2:30. Meredith's gonna make me feel a lot better.
Yes, she is. I love Meredith.
So
we were asking Meredith to join us as well.
Yes, because that is my go-to. Like if I have any kind of tax problem, I could, not tax problem. I don't have any tax problems. Right. So, but if I have any tax questions or like buying a new home or buying a like an income property, another investment. Like I utilize her a lot to call her. Between her and Marcy, I mean, those are my go-to people.
Well, and that's another thing that people need to realize, like, because you've got these weird taxes and this weird things, you have questions that Meredith and Marcy actually need to work together.
Yes, a good accounting and a great mortgage broker. Like, and then they know stuff that like I wouldn't know. Like I'm trying to my biggest thing is talking about what is it, Jerry, when it comes to having a big like say if I sell a house and I have this big
equity, like,
yeah,
you're gonna have a big bunch of money, so you don't want to be taxed on it,
right? And
so do you do a 1031 tax exchange, or do you just put some over here to do another house later? Like, which way are you gonna get hit the worst, or and what's the best move? Because I mean, that's the whole. So that's another thing Hakeem has been working out. She's very smart in that the first house she bought, it was years ago, and it's time to move on. There's things happening in the.
And I used to say, I'll never sell. I will never sell this house. And now I'm looking at like this one house can help me purchase my next 3.
Well, but if things weren't happening where you weren't in the best situation, or the tenants weren't in the best situation coming in, like that's what made you like even get into this, was like, wait, it's getting a little off color, like off kilter, off.
Yeah, and our biggest thing when it comes to corporate housing is comfort, quality, safety, and convenience. And if one of those C's or Q's don't coincide, it's time to
let it go.
Part ways. And I know I'm emotionally attached to this place.
Yes, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's my very first place. I raised my girls. You know, my very first house that I bought. But I think it's about time for me to let it go.
And you know the best part about this day and age.
What is it? This is another lane change. I just want to let you know.
It is another lane change.
Lane change.
But we can take pictures. You can
keep
those.
I can't. I've done so much with this house. But you know, one thing I don't want to do, I don't want to pay the government.
That's right.
I don't want to pay the government on all this, you know, all the equity that's in this home, and I paid it off. So that's one thing that I'm working on now, is to make sure that when I sell this home, that every dime that I make is rolled into other investments. So.
There you go. That's perfect. And then, so she's had, let's see, you've had some capital expenditures,
right? And capital gains, like when I did talk to Meredith, like she's like, capital gains is something that you're gonna have to deal with. So, and I kind of understand that, but how much capital gains I'm gonna have to deal with is going to be up to a good financial advisor. So,
and so you're gonna go.
I put a lot of money into this home.
She's good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. So you put it. She enjoyed the house. She raised her children in it. You
update it like 3 times.
Right.
I've had it
so
for
like every time.
Years.
And how many years?
11, I think. I bought it in 2014.
Yeah. How many mattresses did you purchase?
Oh, like every 4 years I had to get.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Some people hold those daggone things for decades.
You know how like I got a mattress guy. You should never be on a mattress for more than 4 years. Just me,
it's true though. No. I mean, you gotta the mites and the. Anyway, we don't need to go there.
Right. I heard the commercials say 8 years.
Yeah, but I'm with 4. I like 4.
Yeah,
I like 4, especially with your mattress guy.
Especially with a mattress guy. Yeah.
So.
Anyway. Is a cue for a mattress commercial? No, but but yeah. So I'm excited. What do you have coming up for this weekend? This weekend is a holiday weekend coming up, and.
Is it? Oh, next weekend, right? Today's. Is
it this weekend coming up?
Oh, this weekend coming up. I get confused because today is
Isaac's birthday.
It is Isaac's birthday.
Isaac's 19.
He's 19.
Yay, baby is like getting old.
He has whiskers.
You're coming into.
He has one chest hair.
One. You know what? We put all our kids' business out there, so. Yeah, 19th. What are you going to do with Friday?
Well, it's up to him. I'm hoping that we are going to go on a boat ride. That would be really fun.
Does he have his boat license?
Yes,
he does.
Yes,
I might come on this boat ride.
You should. I have my boat.
Let me check his driving record first, and then I'll come on your boat ride.
Well,
I'll probably will have.
I think he's only had one ticket
on a boat though.
No, on a car, in the car.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
I'm
he's
a little
actually
nervous about boats. Like you got to be a captain, a boat captain.
well. He's 19, but with the more hours we give him, the better his chances of being a boat captain are.
Okay.
So
I might give me a floaty, like a life vest, and like
we got bits on the boat, girl.
I'm
Don't
just,
be scared.
you know,
We'll
I'll be a
show
little
you all that.
nervous.
We
I
got
don't like.
flares.
I can
There's
swim. I just don't like to get my hair wet. You know. And did I send you that meme? I'm nobody's floaty.
I
With
sent
the-
you that
Did you with the baby?
with the baby's like yeah, like who's that
A
guy?
big turnoff is not knowing how to swim.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ain't you floaty.
I ain't your floaty. Ain't nobody's floaty. But I need a lot of floaties, so I don't want to get my hair.
Well, your hair looks good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Good enough for a boat?
Yeah, we get your bonnet.
I'm like, go on a boat ride after taxes. After I get my
2:30.
taxes
Yeah,
done.
that's fine.
Yeah.
2:30. That's fine. We can make that happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what
that's
else
it.
you guys got planned? We got Isaac's 19th birthday, and
Well, we're gonna have he and Ayana on our podcast next show.
week,
Yes. So so he and I last week went to Florida. My uncle passed a couple years ago, so we did the final walk, put that condo up for sale, and
so you went up there for business. You really did.
oh yeah, it was a
Okay.
lot of work. It was he helped so much, and he's a calming force for me. He really is, and I really appreciated him being there, especially because there was a lot of lifting and things like that. A lot of it was done while he was sleeping, though, because he is or was
growing-
18 and now he's 19 and
A growing kid. He was growing, so he had to sleep a lot.
well, also like to give him a little bit of a break. He got home from college, and we were on the plane like 12 hours later,
Right.
you know. So I mean, we were bum, and then we came home, and his room is like seeing you everywhere. Oh yeah, that's right. We were on the Aaron show. That's why I was down in
Yes,
Florida,
yes.
because we were
Okay.
on Aaron's hour.
Yes, you guys got to check that out. So, our producer Aaron has Aaron our show, and we were up there, and Jerry was inside of a vehicle changing lanes as we're on the podcast.
Well, I wasn't driving.
Right, but good show. We did. I thought it was a pretty good podcast.
Well, the thing about seriously like this life of ours and embracing change, embracing technology, embracing it all, we can honestly go anywhere and do the show.
We can.
Yes,
We
that
can.
show created 83,000 views.
Right.
So
So we need Changing Lanes with Hartz and King to get up with those views as well. But that show, like, it actually introduced our podcast, like Changing Lanes
Yes,
with Hartz and King
yes.
introduction.
absolutely.
That's what Aaron does. He has Aaron Hour on Saturdays. So.
I've done shows from balconies on vacation. So changing lanes is very possible anywhere, as long as there's an internet or in a car.
Yes.
As long as we're not driving. But
As long as you're
Aaron
not
has changed lanes on some podcasts and not FaceTime.
Oh yes.
FaceTime.
Yes,
I
I
have
can.
the pictures,
That's the only problem is that these funny, like, oh, Hakima, we got to stay friends because you got some awful pictures of me.
I do. Listen, but I won't post them. Unless
Well-
I think they're cute.
Well, oh no, you're very good about that. But it's like one of the Ted Lasso shows or whatever they call it, episodes was on like breaking up with people and the videos that you might have, and they made the whole soccer team like delete everything that was personal of the woman so that
Really?
nothing could get out. Like if you're in a mood and you're not that you were ever do this
Right,
to me,
right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
But like I thought, oh my gosh, what a good message it is to send this out. You know, like there's all these grown men deleting these risque pictures of their past relationships, you know, not that
I say don't take risque. We're
I
after,
never
we're
take
over
risque.
40, so we don't have to worry about this. And then before 40, I never had to worry about this either. So
I never had to worry about it.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
right.
And
So- right. Maybe we need to have this conversation with our kids. But yes, I always think that like one day I want to, like, if I ran for president or if I was a vice president or you're the president and I'm your vice president,
right.
I don't want anybody to blackmail
Right.
you or
And like
me.
don't do all that and don't burn any flags and don't, you know, like
Right.
come on. Like this, we all gotta work together and
Right.
be
I don't want
nice
my
about
past to
it.
catch up with me, so I just don't put nothing on there.
no, I anyway. Anywho, Well, we appreciate you guys joining us as always, and we hope that you will please subscribe and like us, because we need to get our numbers up so that we can keep joining you. We just need our
Yes.
subscribe, please.
And you can go on our not our Facebook, but Changing Lanes with Hearts and King, our YouTube page, and look at past podcasts. We had some wonderful guests. We had a great guest today, Miss Sandi Good, and just like, subscribe, and listen, because we're putting out some good information. So
yes.
As the acting producer for your show,
Oh yeah,
of course, I want everybody supporting the show.
yes sir.
But what if somebody would like to become an advertiser on your show as you're getting this vast growing audience and they would like to spread their message? How do they reach out to you to do that as well?
Well, we got Changing Lanes with Hearts and King Facebook page. You can leave us a message, or we have Changing Lanes with Hearts and King YouTube. Do we have an email? I'm pretty sure we have an email. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see our email. You can click on that. Also, if you're looking for corporate housing, there's a link on our Facebook page as well.
That's Hearts and King.
I think we got Hearts and King Properties at gmail.com. But we're going to make sure that we put our information out there. So if you're looking at this podcast, you just go right down into the description and you'll find exactly where you can get in touch with us.
That's right.
How about that?
And yes, and
We're accessible.
We're happy to coach. We're happy to help you find something. We're happy to get tenants for you. We've got all sorts of
Management,
different management programs that we work with a bunch of different people, and we'd love to help you. So
Yes.
I'm Jerry at 757-754-6177.
Yes, and I'm Hakima at 314-793-4477. If you're looking for a corporate house, or if you're looking to be coached or mentored, call us.
We're your girls.
All right. Again, Changing Lanes with Hearts and King. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, you guys are clear.